Hello friends, hope you all are doing good. And in today's video, we are going to cover Azure fundamental notes that are prepared by me. So last month I have cleared the certification. So in this video, I'm going to discuss the outline, certain tips, and what you can expect in exam. And like we will go through the entire syllabus. And in that, I can tell you what are the important point and important areas from where, like I have attempted around 6 mock tests. So based on that I can give you an idea like what are the important topics with which from which you can definitely expect some questions. So let me select my pen and firstly discuss that what is the target audience for this exam. So this is one of the simplest exam. This is a 1 star exam. So if you have seen the Azure certification site, so they have 1 star, 2 star, and 3 star exams. So 1 star are fundamental, 2 star are like the more basic, like more to advanced, and the three star are specialty one. Okay, so whatever you specialize in, these are 3 star exams. So this is a 1 star exam, and this is a great way to start for you. So if you are in sales or management, again, like even if you are a developer, QA or BA, so what happens with sales guys is that they have to understand uh, the input for what dev and QA are working on, and similarly they have to pitch in to the client. So uh, in Azure fundamentals, in the end, we will see that there are some monitoring and reporting tools which like BA and sales guy can use. Okay, so this is like my recommendation will be anyone who is in IT should go for this, and this is a great like platform to start your cloud journey. Okay, and you can find all of these notes in the description box. I have provided the link, and obviously it's free of cost. You don't have to pay anything for that. And as I have mentioned in my other video, that it will take you around 1 day. Okay, to prepare for this. If you haven't watched this video, click on this I button. So just watch that video. In that I have discussed that how you can prepare for this exam in 8 hours, and it's very much possible because I also took this much time. And even if you are from, let's say, non-IT background, so at max 2 days to 1 week. Like if you are spending more than 1 week in preparing for this exam, then you are doing something incorrectly, I guess. Okay, so if you will see the syllabus, okay, so let me like open the syllabus, and this is like whatever the notes which I have prepared are from the official Microsoft website. What happened to my mouse? Yeah, here it is. So this is the actual exam website, and here, like if you see, although it says $99, but I have made a separate video on how you can take this exam for free. Okay, if you haven't saw that video, you can like get the link in the description box. And the best part of Microsoft is that like they will provide you training for free as well as certification for free. So this is something like Microsoft is pushing for its cloud, and they want that more and more engineers should learn the Azure concept so that tomorrow they will like pitch in for Microsoft services in their organization. So that way, like Microsoft will benefit from it. So it's a long-term game. Uh, if I like tell you in simple terms, have you seen Uber in 2016-17 when they were like giving rides for free? So there is no free lunch in this world. That's why like, but it's good on Microsoft part that they are providing this like learning plus certification for free. So you can watch this whole video and you can get an idea. So how like what I did to clear my certification is that I read the notes from the Microsoft official website, and based on that only I have prepared the note. So uh, where this is the exam, and if you see, they have provided 3 modules, like 3 learning paths, and in the learning path, they like this first learning path contains 3 module, this contain 4 module, and this is again containing 4 module. So it will hardly take you 4 to 5 hours to go through each and every module, and obviously like it will take you 5 hours to like just go through it, but like more time to grab the concepts and practice a little bit. Later we will see that okay, what it's not just MCQ question, there are a couple of other questions also. Okay, and I strongly recommend that please make a Microsoft Azure account and do some hands-on practice. Okay, launching a VM or creating a blob, etc., etc. And on the like you have to give the online exam. So there is a myth, not actually myth, but people cannot decide that whether to take this exam from home or from the exam center. Okay, so I strongly recommend you to take the exam from exam center if it is nearby. Okay, and if it is like far away, you can take from home. Again, I have made a separate video on this, and I will link down the video below. So you can watch this video, and you yourself can decide that whatever will be the good for you. Okay, so I have given the content outline, and like the passing marks is 700 out of 1000, and this is a scaled score. So by scaled, I mean there is not a particular number of questions. So if the exam is tough, okay, then you need less uh, right questions to pass the exam. Okay, less right questions. And if the exam is easy, then you need more right questions to pass the exam. So there is no particular, it's not like that for every question you are provided some marks, and based on that, like this is a scaled scoring. Okay, and there will be MCQs, like most of them, I think 80% of them will be MCQs, but there are some like questions in which you have to drag and drop. So there are match the column kind of thing, in which you have to match this column with this, so you just have to drag and drop it. That's why like mock test come into picture, and I strongly recommend you to practice some mock test, and you can find the mock test in the description box, which I have personally used. Okay, and the hot area, so in the hot area what they will do is that they will provide you the UI, and based on the UI you have to select that, like for example, that they will give you the screenshot kind of thing, and in that you have to select that where is the AWS CLI. So if you have to launch the, not AWS CLI, sorry, Azure CLI. Okay, so you have to select the icon. So the actual exam time is 60 minutes, but you can log in 30 minutes earlier. And in these like initial 30 minutes, there will be an guy from the PSN team. So they will check that your surroundings are okay, and like you are sitting in a safe and sound environment. And again, like I'll not repeat those things. You can watch the video in which I have discussed that the like disadvantages of taking the exam at home, because there are a couple of factors which you have to take into consideration, that probably your light can go off, or like if you have kid at home, then they can disturb you. So it's a big no-no. So like you can watch that video and decide on your behalf. Again, like this is the first learning path in on the cloud concept. I'll not like explain each and everything. I'll just go to the outline, so you can have an idea that okay, what is the syllabus actually, and how to actually approach this. Okay, and this is good if you are if you have started preparing, or if you are thinking of going for the Azure certification. Otherwise, if you have like prepared and tomorrow is your exam, then these notes will help you in revising the things. Okay, so just like open this and like ask yourself what is cloud. So just jot down like 2 to 3 points, and after that match it with these notes, that whether you are correct or not. Okay, so in the module like this is the 1.1, like the first module of the first learning path, and in that like they have described the cloud concept for noob. Okay, and what is Microsoft, what is Azure. So these are pretty basic thing. Now the benefits of using cloud, that it is cost effective. Obviously, if you have to set up your own like infrastructure, if you have to set up your own server, then this is going to cost you more than setting things up on cloud. Okay, so again there is a module in the later stage in which we'll see the capital expenditure. Okay, and operational expenditure. So the setting up the infra comes under capital expenditure, and setting up your account on cloud, and like so using cloud, it's like running an AC. So you have got an AC, and like if you're buying an AC, that will be like setting up your own server, but the amount, like the electricity bill you will get each month, so that is the usage, like that is the expenditure which you are giving to the electricity company on using their electricity. Okay, I hope like I was able to clear that through this example. So buying an AC is like deploying the servers, but actually running the AC and incurring the electricity cost comes under operational expenditure. Okay, so we will see it in the later stage. Again, like this is a global service you can launch from anywhere in the world till the time you have internet, and obviously like it's very much secure. Okay, and in the security also there are some points which you have to take care of, like whatever the data you are providing, whatever the like if you have the virtual private network. Okay, so what are the configurations which you are setting are dependent on you, and like the physical security of the cloud and everything is taken care by Azure team, Microsoft team. Okay, and again, if you have a governance issue that your data should not go out of this country, or for example, like in China, this Azure is managed by 21 ViaNet. Okay, we will see it in the later stage. Again, this is reliable and predictable, high availability and scalability. So there is a difference between availability and scalability. And in the availability also, uh, this is how much time each services are running in a particular year or month. Okay, so if it is 99.9% up, that means that there can be some downtime in some of the services. Okay, and scalability can be that you can scale horizontal or vertical. Okay, this is vertical scalability. So if I give you an example, a simple example of horizontal and vertical scaling. So let's say you have an computer with 2 GB RAM. Okay, you have a physical machine, and to horizontally scale it, you have to include four machines with the same power. Okay, so this is horizon. So I remember this thing. So like horizon is the like earth horizon. Okay, so this is horizontal scaling. This is 2 GB, 2 GB, 2 GB. And what is vertical? So vertical goes this way. Okay, so if you have a 2 GB machine, then you like induct a 8 GB machine. Okay, that will do the same work. So you increase the power and efficiency of the same machine. So this is vertical scaling. And if you increase the number of instances, that is horizontal scaling. Like initially I used to confuse between both of them, but again, like see horizon through earth. So that's how I remember these concepts. Okay, so this is pretty much important. And elastic is that if you are automating, then how elastic your like cloud infrastructure is, how like in with how ease it can create new instances. And after that manageability, that like security and everything comes under this. Okay, again I have discussed the same benefits here with more details. So this is vertical and horizontal scaling, upgraded bigger servers, scaling out and each and everything. Now this is very important thing. So let me give it 3 star. Okay, so you cannot like afford to miss this part, because you can expect 2 to 3 questions out of this module. Okay, third module of the first learning path, and in that they have discussed what is software as a service, what is platform as a service, and what is infrastructure as a service. So these are like 3 levels. So if you are purchasing a VM, okay, so that will come under infrastructure. So whatever the physical infrastructure you have will come under infrastructure as a service. Okay, and launching an VM comes under this. See, virtual machine and different environment. That means you have to deploy different servers. Okay, now coming to platform as a service, so there are certain services which are deployed on the physical server. Okay, so that comes under platform, and after that, like this is the most basic one, software as a service. So you must have heard of Office 365 subscription or maybe Photoshop. So these are all the softwares which are sold as a service. Okay, so so this comes under software as a service. Sorry for my throat, it's too cold here. Now coming to the deployment model, so you can deploy in the public, private, and both on public and private. So as you know that if you are deploying in public, then somewhere you are compromising on the security and you are more vulnerable. And if you have something like a banking domain, so you cannot afford to go public. So for that you have to go private, and like by private I mean whatever you are hosting should be on like a closed environment. Okay, so on premises of the organization. And hybrid is that like you have, let's say, How should I give it an through example? That you have a premises, but you are expecting that on the salary day, on 30th January, everyone will log in into their account. So you have a banking website, but the load will go like this much. So if 50 persons are logging in throughout the month, so in the end of the month this will go to 200. Okay, then how are you going to manage these 150? So for that, like, you have to, like, sometimes you can take help of the public cloud and deploy some of these non-essential services on the public cloud. Okay, so this was the example, and again, like, this is total cost of ownership and everything. Now comes module 2. So in this module we will see the architecture. In that, like, this is the actual cloud concept starts from here. What are the regions? What is an availability zone? So if like, if you have a Mumbai region, so each region will have, let's say, this is Mumbai region, and each region will have, like, availability zone, and there is a certain minimum requirement. These availability zones are at least 150 kilometers away from each AZ. Okay, so this is AZ1, this is AZ2, and this is AZ3. So that, let's say, there is a fire in AZ1, so all the services are not down, and like the whole region should not go down. That's why, like, we are not putting every egg in a single basket. We are bifurcating our availability zones, and in that availability zone you can have 2 to 3 data centers. Okay, those are also, like, are a separate entity. Okay, so, like, this is a basic information, and once you have made an Azure account, then you can manage the subscription, and on that you can have a resource group. So by resource group, I mean, you can have an, like, if you are running an organization, then you must be having an engineering team and an HR team, plus maybe there is an admin team. So this is an engineering resource group, this is an HR resource group, and based on this resource group you can provide them, like, uh, how should I tell you that? Let's say payroll. Okay, so admin should have access to each and everyone's payroll, but, like, you don't expect engineers to see each other's salary. Okay, so you give the payroll access to only to admin team. So rather than giving each and every individual this access, you can, like, provide these services to the whole group, so that whatever, like, all the users inside this admin group should have that access. Okay, we will see later in the access policies and everything. And at the end you have resources, like a single VM. Okay, so this is a single resource. Now how to, like, access the Azure thing? So you can use the command line interface or through Azure portal. There is no difference between these two. It's just medium of accessing Azure services. Okay. And here, like, I have explained what are, like, your physical infrastructure contain regions, and in that availability zone, the same thing. Okay. Now there are some sovereign regions, that there is a, like, region US government. So it's not public, it's private, and only, like, US government officials can use this region, and this is highly confidential, and, like, this is accessible to them only. Similarly, in China, Microsoft, like, there are some local government policies. So if you see in the starting, we have, like, covered the governance. So this comes under this, governance comes under this. So let's say tomorrow India comes with a policy that whatever the data, it should be saved locally. So they have a Mumbai region. So whatever the data which is being generated by the Indian users should reside either in Mumbai or Hyderabad region. Okay, so this is an example. I hope you understand. Now the same management group which I have talked about, and one thing I missed in this, that, like, this is your homework, that you have to see that can a single account can have multiple subscriptions, and can a multiple subscriptions can have multiple resource group, because this is important. I got a, like, question based on this. So this is your homework. Just find out that, can a single Azure account contain multiple subscription. And again, guys, till here, if you are, like, liking this video and enjoying, and if I'm able to, like, add some value, just hit that like button, and just comment down anything which you felt like. Okay, any like feedback. Now coming to the second like module, in that like we will see the computer networking services. So a single like VM is a single, you can think of VM as a single physical machine. Okay, so this is our VM, and like there are virtual desktop, so you can control other desktop, and like this is a cloud hosted VM, you can say. Okay, now the containers. So this is Docker and Azure Container Services. So this can help you in saving some resources, and you can read more about Dockers. Okay, now Azure Functions. So this is equivalent to AWS Lambda. Okay, I'm talking about AWS in between because like I have done the solution, not solution. It's solution architect associate exam, and there like I have like I'm more comfortable with AWS. That's why like if you have like if you're also coming from the AWS school, then this is uh, like what do we call it? Serverless. Okay, these are serverless service. Like there are servers at the back, but you don't have to manage the servers. Okay, so serverless. This is the term which I was like looking for. And like you don't have to manage the infra and scalable and only pay what you use. So let's say like there is a different difference between cloud and your physical servers, that let's say you bought a server. Okay, this is like buying a car and renting a car. So probably you only need car for 15 days in a year. Okay, you have to go with your family at some to do some vacation. Okay, so you need the car for 15 days a year. Then why should you buy a car? It's better that you rent it. Okay, so this is what the cloud is all about. Okay, renting thing and paying only what you use. So now coming to the storage services. So there are like redundancy option, that if you save locally, then like Azure promised that 99.9999, so 11 nines, this much is the time, like they promise this thing. Okay, the same thing, if this is zone redundant, then means your data is saved in two zones. Okay, and if it is geo redundant, then means that it is replicated in like multiple regions, like it is distributed across multiple regions. Okay, so this is now coming to the storage, because let's say you have a VM. Now there should be an options to store the data which you are getting. So this is equivalent to AWS S3, Azure Blobs. Okay, and this is very much important. Just go through it: hot tier, cool tier, and archive. So hot is that like this is frequent access, that if you need a data after 15 days. Okay, I'm not exactly remembering the exact days. You can find it out. But like if you want a data after 90 days, okay, some maybe records or anything which is not frequently used. So you can put it in the cold or cool tier, and there is an archive. So this is like long backups and like data which you are not which you will not be using in probably 6 months or 1 year. Okay, similarly there are Azure files, Azure queues, so this is equivalent to SQS. Okay, the Azure disk. After that, like if you have to move files between maybe your on-prem to cloud. Okay, or probably from cloud to cloud. By cloud to cloud means from one region or one place or one AZ to another region. Then these are some options which you can look. And in the module 4 of second learning path, we will go through the identity and security. So again, this is very important, Azure AD. So this is like that once like you have an office laptop. Okay, once you log in into this office laptop, then your server knows that okay, this is Shailesh logging into the uh, like a company of like sorry for that, like uh, this is like my office knowing that if I'm logging into my machine, then it's me. Then they don't have to log in again for the Office 365 or other services which are associated with this, like with my service. Okay, So again, like single sign-on, that if you sign in once, you don't have to sign in again and again. Now your office can decide which all apps can you install on your machine. Okay, so that is app management. And again, they have an list of all the devices which you are using, or probably like each and every user is using. Maybe like there can be an option that one user is using two device, so they have to do device management also. Maybe there is some patch from Microsoft that is mandatory. So if you if you can relate that you cannot actually download the softwares or possibly and updates from Microsoft directly to your office laptop. So for that, your like IT team has to like push those patches to your computer. That's why it forces you to restart your machine. So this is it. Okay. And directed domain services authentication method, which we have already discussed, single sign-on, multi-factor authentication. So sometimes it happens that okay, you can only log in if you can enter a password, or possibly like there are Google Authenticator and there is Microsoft Authenticator also. Okay, two-step verification, just like an OTP. So after entering your debit card pin in the ATM machine, sometimes if the amount is greater than 10,000 or 20,000, then they ask you to enter the OTP, which is sent to your mobile. Okay, so this is two-factor authentication. And again, there is this comes under authentication services. Okay, and passwordlessness. Let's say you don't have to enter your password, you just use the fingerprint, or possibly there is a Face ID in Apple. So this is a example of passwordless. Again, zero trust model. So if you're like logging in from some other location, then they don't trust you. Okay, they will prompt you to enter your password again and again. And if you have any doubt and if you want to refer something, then like you can refer to this official documentation also. So it's a great learning path. So this is just an outline, like my notes, which I use to like recall things and remember all those things. Again, this is very important, total cost of ownership, because you can expect this question like one to two questions in the exam. Okay, there is a formula also of calculating the total cost of ownership. Coming to the tags. So as we have discussed previously, that if there is an admin team and there is an HR team, okay. So like I will be getting the consolidated billing, but I want to know that what all services admin are using and what all services HR are using. So like we have to like tell that whatever the VMs or resources HR are using, so that will be tagged with HR. So department will be HR. So I can get an insight information on what all services and how much like the cost is incurring because of the HRs. So tags are very helpful. And like we have already covered this in governance and compliance. Now, like resource locks are very much important. Like I got two questions out of this, and it is like accidentally deleting some resources. So you have to provide some lock. So maybe there is a production server. Okay, you don't want anyone to accidentally delete it. So that's why like you will put a lock of read only. So like 99% of the guys can only read the data from prod or maybe from UAT. Okay, they don't have access to UAT machine, like they cannot modify the settings in UAT. Okay, they can do whatever they want in QA or dev environment, but not in UAT and prod. Okay, uh, now this is the third module. How will you deploy resources? So like this Azure portal, Azure Arc, okay, resource manager, monitoring. So like there is a service Azure Advisor, so that can evaluate that how to improve the security. Maybe if your data is leaking, if you have like accidentally like setting up, if you have modified some settings which are not required, and like that will put you in risk, so Azure Advisor will warn you. Okay, and like service health of each and every services monitor, like it will collect data from each and every service and provide you like the report. Okay, you can analyze how my services are working. So this is it. Like this is an outline, and these things you can also refer these things which are while giving the mock test. I thought that these are important, so just to remember it. Okay, Maybe you can make your own notes similarly, and you can like if you want to download these notes, you can check the description box, and that's it, guys. And also, like, I will provide you my AWS notes. So after doing this certification, if you're interested in doing maybe an AWS certification, so you can watch that. And if you have any doubt regarding these notes, or if you want to ask anything in general regarding the exam or timings or what is the environment or anything in particular, so you can comment it down, or probably like if your query is long or a personalized query which you cannot share in public, so you can also book a top mate call with me. And that's it, guys. So at the end, like, if you have liked this video, just hit that like and subscribe button. It will surely help me and motivate me to make such kind of videos in future. So Shailesh Kumar signing off. Thanks.